All right, so it looks like our man G. Bush has had enough, and I'm with him. Shout out to G. Bush in the barbershop, man. Tyvis, they doing their thing over there. This was a members-only clip that they put up on social media, man. Listen, G. Bush is letting it be known. All of this nonsense being pushed by Mary Kay Cabot and a lot of these jealous, anybody but Shedeur Mafia, Cleveland media members. These people are frauds. They are using buzzwords and catchphrases that they don't even know what half the stuff they saying mean. He's had enough. He sounded off. He's not feeling it. You know, these people are trying to use, any little move they can to try to get at Shedeur Sanders. What G. Bush had to say. They cooking on this one.
You know what I'm saying?
They trying to silence my brother.
Hey, listen, we got to get to this, man. We got to get to this.
And see, this is the difference. A lot of these other people, they're going to talk, but they're never going to show anything to support their statements or arguments.
Nobody saw this coming. Not the Cleveland media, not the so-called insiders, and definitely not the people who spent an entire year trying to tear down Shedeur Sanders, because one clip just exposed everything. A members-only conversation never meant to blow up like this, but it did. And when it did, it completely collapsed the narrative Cleveland media had been building for months. But what happened next revealed a double standard so blatant, so obvious, that even hardened Browns insiders couldn't look away.
These folks out here using these catchphrases and these buzz phrases about cadence, bro. Like this cadence and getting in and out of the huddle nonsense is at an all-time high. And the problem is we let people persist with this buzzword. And I'm not going to sit there and tell you that just because you play football, you got to know everything. But the way they're using cadence, Tyvis, the last couple of days is telling me that they really feel that cadence is more important than the garbage that Deshaun Watson put on tape.
So this is where I'm at with the cadence thing, because I'm like you. I heard the same thing, and I heard it from obviously me working with the Browns radio network. You know, I'm talking to some of those guys on a daily basis. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that they said was about the pre-snap stuff. What they told me was Deshaun Watson pre-snap is better than Shedeur. And so when you hear like he's struggling to get the play in, you know, he's not saying his cadence loud enough so guys can't hear the snap count. When you hear stuff like that.
For months, the noise around Shedeur Sanders never stopped. Whispers, buzzwords, vague criticism with no receipts attached. And one man finally had enough. G. Bush, a voice deeply connected with the Cleveland football world, sat down and said what a lot of people were only thinking. He didn't hold back. He called it out directly. Reporters throwing out narratives with nothing behind them to back it up. No film, no stats, no proof, just talk. And once G. Bush started talking, he wasn't stopping. Here's where things get crazy. For weeks, one word kept getting attached to Shedeur's name over and over again. Cadence, snap counts, pre-snap operation. He's not loud enough. He's slow getting out of the huddle. Over and over and over again. But here's the problem. If Shedeur's cadence was really as bad as they claimed, it would show up on the field. Penalties, false starts, delay of game calls, guys lining up in the wrong spot. So G. Bush asked the obvious question everybody in Cleveland was too scared to ask. How many false start penalties did Shedeur actually have? 0. Not one. And that's not even the most shocking part, because while Shedeur was getting hammered for something that never even showed up on tape, Deshaun Watson was being handed the starting job. And when they turned on the film, the story flipped completely. Watson's reps looked safe, underneath, cautious, comfortable, but not competitive. Meanwhile, Shedeur was pushing the ball downfield, taking chances, playing like a guy trying to win a job, not coast into one. Here's where the media's argument completely falls apart. They wanted to talk about cadence. Nobody wanted to talk about what Deshaun Watson actually looked like on tape.
Yeah. It's the same thing we heard last year when they played Dylan Gabriel, and it was, oh, Dylan's more equipped because he played in 5 different offenses, and if you throw him in there, it's going to look 10 times worse. Well, let me just give you some work right here, because here's the problem, Tyvis, the film don't add up.
No,
Come out and ask you flat out, what are you seeing about Watson on tape, on the all-22? You're already shrugging your shoulders because, it's not like he's lit it up, right? So what have you seen that Todd Monken at least can hang his hat on here to announce him as the starter, Chase?
Not a lot to be completely honest. Look, I haven't been around practice,
Sure.
right? So practice in general, like you got to play well in preseason, but that's only, I think Deshaun's had 27 reps or 32, something along those lines in actual preseason games. He's had way more in practice. So he could be lighting it up in practice, but just taking practice away.
By the way, he was not lighting it up in
Now
practice.
pay attention to this. This isn't the first time Cleveland has pulled this exact playbook. Last year, it was Dylan Gabriel getting the more experienced, more prepared label. This year, it's Deshaun Watson getting the head start while carrying a brand new offense, new terminology, new scheme in a hostile road environment. Same story, different name. Every single year, there's a built-in excuse ready to go the moment a rookie quarterback starts outplaying expectations. And every single year, that excuse conveniently protects the guy already sitting at the top of the depth chart. That's not coaching evaluation, that's narrative protection. But that's not even where this story ends, because in the middle of the debate, film analysis surfaced, and it didn't just clear Shedeur, it complimented him. Analysts pointed directly to Shedeur using his snap count as a weapon, not a weakness. Drawing the defense offside, creating free yardage, forcing the defense to show its hand before the ball was even snapped. The exact thing he was being criticized for was actually working in his favor on tape. And that's when G. Bush drove the point home. Vague criticism isn't analysis. If you can't show the consequence, a busted protection, a blown assignment, a negative play, then it's not a scouting report. It's a talking point. Because the numbers tell a completely different story than the narrative being pushed. 0 pre-snap penalties, 0 delay of game issues traced back to his operation. A clean, functioning offense under his command, in road environments, under pressure, against playoff caliber defenses. Meanwhile, the quarterback he was competing against was still finding his footing in practice, let alone live competition. So when the decision came down and the job went the other direction, it didn't line up with what the tape actually showed. And that's exactly what made this so hard to ignore.
Stop with these buzzwords. Show me the football. Vague language is not analysis. I hate when people say his cadence needs work. That's meaningless. What about it? The real analysis.
I agree with this statement, by the way. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay.
Show me what happened. Did he draw a defender off sides? Did the defense time up his snap easily? Did it affect the protection or rhythm? Did it lead to a negative play? I need to see the consequences. He's slow getting in and out of the huddle. Describes nothing. Define the operational problem for us, Tyus. Please.
So the Buffalo game, I'm sitting. That was last game. So I'm sitting in the box, the booth behind Andrew and Nathan, and I'm looking because my thing is this. On my mind, it's he's slow to get in and out of the huddle. So I'm looking like, all right, when did he snap the ball? I'm looking at the play clock.
Once this clip started spreading, the reaction was immediate. Fans who had been quietly frustrated finally had someone saying it out loud. Analysts who'd been circling the same vague buzzwords for weeks were suddenly being asked to actually prove it. And for the first time in a long time, the pressure shifted. It wasn't on Shedeur Sanders to explain himself anymore. It was on the critics. This wasn't just a rant. This was a challenge, a direct call-out to every reporter, every insider, every voice who spent months attacking a rookie quarterback with words like cadence and command, without ever backing it up with actual football evidence. And once that challenge got put on the table, the silence said everything. Nobody could answer it, not with film, not with stats, not with anything real. Whether you love Shedeur Sanders or you're still skeptical of him, one thing is becoming impossible to deny. Every time they try to bury him in buzzwords, the tape tells a different story. Every time they try to hand the job to someone else based on potential instead of production, he keeps showing up with the receipts. And now, thanks to one honest, unfiltered moment from someone inside the building, the whole country is asking the same question. If the film doesn't lie, why does the story keep changing? That question isn't going away, and neither is Shedeur Sanders. If this story hit different, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment with your take, and subscribe so you never miss the next update on Shedeur Sanders.